Hello, okay. So I'm just gonna talk about this. I got nothing else to do. Fuck it. I've got like people asking me what are my thoughts on the hurricane Helena. And you've got tons of people putting out videos on Hurricane Helena. And it's just a clickbaity event. People are just using Hurricane Helena as a clickbait kind of just, it's there's all kinds of opportunivores that are rushing to this Hurricane Helena event to capitalize on it. It's a clickbaity, hot flavor of the week subject, and I guarantee you it's not going to change anything. And we have seen this over and over and over again. Dude. Okay, for example, remember the pipeline thing? Remember the pipeline thing where, you know, on the reservation, and the Indian, the native, whatever you want to call them, that tribe of people that lived on that reservation, and they started protesting the pipeline coming through and how it was going to ruin a bunch of jobs and this and that. Well, it just attracted, like flies to shit, a bunch of people who only were there to get attention and to look at me. I care so much. I'm going to go out and help. And it ruined, like the Indians or Native Americans, whatever you want to call them, it was causing them more problems because you have all these people flooding in and videoing themselves there, like, look at me, I'm here at the pipeline. And if you've ever been involved in any kind of stuff like that, you see it happen all the time. The Occupy movement was a great example. Another one where you just get all these people flocking in because they want attention and they want, it's just a bunch of opportunivores that flock in droves and masses for their own personal agenda. And the Helena is just another one. You have to understand, people just do not get this. They just do not understand this at all. This is something you have to understand if you're going to be looking at these things like Helena and like the pipeline and all these kinds of things where you get all these people that supposedly care that really they don't. They're just there to take a selfie of themselves at the pipeline fucking reservation with all the Native Americans so that they can say, look at me, look at how awesome I am, look at how much I care. And they don't. And I mean the masses of people that do this stupid shit is unfucking real. There are, and this Helena thing is just another one. You've got all these people. Okay, like for example, that would be like there are people who's just somebody like me or you, and they'll put a video on TikTok like this, like I am right now, saying, it's really terrible what's going on in North Carolina, and it gets, and just for attention, and so then it gets all these clicks, and it's just some nobody, and they don't even fucking care. Like, really, do they really fucking care? And this is what people don't understand is that if people like this actually cared about these things, then they would care about the homeless problem in this country. Because, look, okay, when we're talking about Helena, we're talking about all these people that got displaced, and now they don't have access to clean running water, they don't have access to shelter, they don't have access to food. Well, dude, All you got to do is take a walk a few blocks down the street and you'll find a bunch of fucking displaced people all over your cities and your towns and your communities. Why aren't any of these people upset about that? They're not only are they not upset about it, they don't fucking care. And their wishes is that the cops would just take them to jail because they're just these unclean, dirty people. But yet they care so much about the people displaced from the Hurricane Helena? No. Dude, there is this massive cognitive dissonance around this. Like, people are drinking this Kool-Aid like nobody's business. That there's all these people that care about what's going on in Helena because there's all those displaced people that don't have access to shelter and food and water. If these people who claim they cared actually did care, they would have been talking about all the displaced people in their communities and in their cities and in their states. All these displaced elderly homeless people that are eating out of dumpsters, and all these displaced homeless vets that are eating out. They don't fucking care. It goes back to that same thing. You can measure a society by how it treats its poor. If the society you live in has like fucking all these homeless people that are displaced, that don't have access to shelter, water, and food, and that society that you live in that has all these displaced people, the society doesn't give a shit at all about them. It just completely ignores them. And then that same society, an event like the Helena hurricane takes place, and that same society starts waxing in with crocodile tears at how much they care about those displaced people. You don't understand. Like, am I the only motherfucker that understands? Like, dude, I can't believe people buy into this shit. And that's what they capitalize. They capitalize on these events like Helena with their crocodile tears and expressing all their care and concern for all these displaced people. Well, what about their care and concern for all these displaced people that we've been witnessing for fucking decades? These fucking masses of homeless people all over this country. And they've never cared about them at all. But all of a sudden Helena happens and all of a sudden they care. And it just coincidentally happens to be a really trending in news right now. Helena is trending in news right now. And that's just coincidence that they care about this trending thing. It's just coincidence. And they're just coincidentally getting attention because they're claiming they care about these displaced people. Dude, I can't believe it. So anyway, like, act locally. If you care so much about displaced people on the other side of the country you live, why not act locally? Think about like, what about the displaced people in your own communities? You don't care about them?